So why did I buy the Sony A8G? Well, the honest answer is it's the best OLED on the market. Now, what does that mean for you? I mean, the best could just be an opinion, right? I could have been paid off by Sony to say that. I could just be experiencing brand loyalty and be a fanboy. What does that mean to you watching this video right now that it's the best OLED on the market? Well, I'm gonna go into it and explain it. Now, for starters, I'm not sponsored, and this isn't fanboyism at all. I actually kind of really hate Sony, like a lot, because I've had seriously awful experiences with them as a company. But the products that they do make are pretty good when you look at cameras, TV, and gaming consoles, so that's why I'm here. But that being said, we're gonna talk about what they do correctly. Now, the X1 Extreme chip is one of the best technology pieces ever put in play for a Sony television or any television. You have something called precision color mapping, and it does exactly what that might suggest. It adds precision for color. And this means that your primary colors, red, green, blue, that usually look a little off on LG and need a lot of calibration, you kind of have that dialed in for the most part out of the box. And what makes it even better is when you change to a different color space, what precision color mapping does is say, okay, I'm in this color space, I can only cover a certain amount of this color space. Let me hone in on the parts that I can do correctly. And it tries to get you as close to that color coverage, even if it's not mastered in that color space. It's genius what Sony has done here. And I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about as far as color spaces as well, because unlike LG's OLEDs, you have direct access to all of your color spaces. Take a look. You have BT 2020, you have Adobe RGB, you have DCI, you have Rec 709, and then automatic, which goes based off of the native content. Now, I like using BT 2020 because that is as close as we're going to get to 12-bit color. So I love using that color space. But I tell you, it goes even further than that, because under the motion options, you look at all these motion options you have. You have smooth, you have standard, you have true cinema, you have custom, and then you have off. And then under custom, you can then set the smoothness level and the clearance level, which is basically like de-blur and de-judder, but something a step above and beyond that LG doesn't have, which is Cinemotion, which adds even more fidelity to your image and smoothing out that stuff to compensate and remove the judder, and it just looks amazing. I love this TV. Like the way that they've gone about this is really incredible. You can turn that stuff off if you choose to. It'll add some more judder, and you can do like little combinations to get a different image quality, right? Like turning off this Cinemotion and then going over to something like smooth and trying to smooth it out, or going to standard, which I ironically find to be smoother than smooth if you like the soap opera effect, by the way. This adds like almost like a natural judder to it, so it gives you a little bit more out of the image. You can be more creative is my point, with a Sony television, a Sony OLED, giving you a more accurate representation of motion and color and whatever really you're looking for. And that is power. And as a consumer, of course I want power. Now, another thing to mention is you also have a peak luminance feature. Now, for those that don't know, this is that contrast boosting technology that they're selling on the A9G. Now, what this does, this is essentially the same thing as their Dynamic Range Pro, or their XDR Pro, their Extended Dynamic Range Pro. It's the same thing, but for OLED. So what it does is it hones in on the brightest highlights and juices them up. And this is a feature I turn on high and make it look like a quantum dot display. I mean, the color volume is through the roof. It looks like a quantum dot TV, even though it's a WRGB OLED, not even an RGB OLED. And it's really impressive. I mean, look at these reds right now. Even on YouTube, you can see how saturated, natural, and beautiful they look, and it just works really, really well. And these are the little kind of technologies that kind of played into my buying decision before I even bought Sony, because I kind of know all the stuff going into it, working with the X1 Extreme chip before. But look at the shade of blue now as we look at the officer's uniform. They isolate colors so like sharply and clean, like you know colors are like an entity of their own. Like they're all distinct, they're all a unique feature, and it looks really, really good. And Sony's color accuracy is on point. Now, to be fair, their input lag is terrible, so if you like input lag response time, that would be something you go to LG for, because LG is doing that way better. But the overall color, the overall image, the overall experience, time after time on this Sony has made not only me, but my wife say, wow, this TV is incredible. Like absolutely amazing. And I'm very, very happy with it. Now, just to kind of share this with you guys, I mean, to be fair, to be 100% fair, another reason why I'm really quite okay with having the Sony A9 or the A8G is because unlike pretty much everybody else, I didn't pay $2,000 for it. I mean, I did when I bought it, but Best Buy made an error that basically led to them in this long exchange with me giving me the TV for $899 and just saying it was our bad, we made a mistake on our end, we'll eat that, Merry Christmas. And I can't believe that that happened. So I got a 65-inch Sony A8G for $899. Where are you gonna find that? Of course I'll take that, and of course I'm happy with whatever outcome. Because at this point, now it's worth it for me. You know, I paid budget price and I got this awesome kick-ass TV because of a mistake that Best Buy made. And you know, hey, I was a good Samaritan. I tried to call in and make everything happen, and they were just like, no, don't worry about it. We appreciate your honesty. You're a good guy, but there's nothing we could do. We messed up real big. It's our fault, so you can enjoy that discount. So of course that does play a role in how happy I am about having this TV, because again, I'm not paying $2,000 for it. But even when I paid $2,000, watch my videos on that when the price that I paid was initially $2,000, I mean, I was still very, very, very happy about it, because this image is just one of the best I've ever seen in my life, and definitely the best OLED I have ever seen, period. You know, you saw all the shootout awards, you know, Value Electronics naming the A9G the TV of the year and all that, but nobody gave the A8G the proper credit. This is the OLED of the year because of what it does. And the thing I do hate about this OLED though, it's built cheap as crap, right? You have a garbage plastic frame, plastic body all around except for the stand. The remote is just a disgrace. It's the cheapest remote that comes with their entry-level Android TV, you know, platform. You know, their entry-level line, basically. They don't give you the nice metal remote. They don't give you anything indicative of $2,000 that you spent. You don't even have the built-in hands-free voice control, but the lower tier Sony X950G has it. I mean, Sony was hella disrespectful about this TV, right? They had no problem crapping on their customers to try to force them to buy the $3,000 OLED. That's a downgrade from this TV, quite literally, because they stripped out picture options, like literally a lot of them. And that being said, like, honestly, that, again, played enough of a factor in my decision to buy the A8G, because the A9G, there was no effort. Now, off of principle alone, I probably shouldn't buy the A8G, but once I saw the picture quality, there really was no turning back, right? And I think that's the problem here. A lot of these manufacturers are lazy anyway, and the problem I have is LG's no different. They're pretty lazy. They use the same panel year after year and add features, but they don't improve on core problems. Now, to be fair, LG's brighter than the Sony, but they don't tone map anywhere near Sony's level. And if you don't know what tone mapping is, it's the thing that makes the Lightning right now look so bright, even though it's not a bright television, because it gets as bright as it needs to get and not a dial more. And that's what I love about this TV. And ultimately, I bought this TV for Sony's engineering genius. I bought it for the processing chip that I know for a fact from owning the Sony X930E was brilliant. And I wanted to see that on an OLED with my stuff on a 2019 OLED, and it looks absolutely incredible. Now, I can confirm with you guys as well that this is the same exact OLED panel that you'll find on the LG C9. Literally the same exact one, and there are no two ways about that. It's literally like identical. This is the one that they used. So again, that's insider knowledge that I have on this stuff, but I can tell you it's verifiable as well through other sources. If you didn't want to take my word for it, you can go to rtings.com and you can verify that by looking at the response time under the motion, seeing that motion is literally exactly the same. It is the same type of panel. The pixels respond in the same exact fashion. It's the same panel as the C9. Only difference is Sony's processing is making a world of difference. But again, no TV is perfect. I'm not here to hype it up, but I do want to let you guys know, like, this, if you have the chance, is something you might want to think about. Take me, for example. I was a guy that hated OLED, never once would give it a chance because of burn-in issues, but this has me taking on the risk of burn-in, happily, not caring, because not only did I get a sweet deal on it, but also because the picture is the best I've ever seen on an OLED, and it really does make all of my content look so very good, especially night scenes in movies. That's just magical. So I hope by giving this information, I know it's long-winded and everything, but I hope by talking to you like a person and not like a, I don't know, like a number on a spec sheet somewhere, that you can appreciate what I'm doing here. And I'm trying to show you, like, this TV is the real deal. Like, seriously, I can't say it enough. I know a lot of you guys are wondering between the LG and the Sony which one to get. guys, go with the Sony. Their processing is unbeatable, unmatched right now in the current market. I don't care, by the way, what you'll read on rtings.com as far as like the gradations are concerned with banding and all that. This TV is 100% banding free with my experience. I have never seen any kind of banding, and just to show you that like I'm not like lying about that, what we'll do is we'll show you a sunset here so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. Look at the gradations. I'll show you 3 levels of sunsets, okay? So we have one where you have a sky that gradates from this blue color all the way to this color, and nowhere in between are you seeing any kind of gradation abnormalities. We go over here to this image. Again, you're not seeing any gradation abnormalities. We go to a sunset as we go from this corner here all the way over here, and it gradates. We're not seeing any abnormalities. Like, there's just nothing, dude. It just looks really, really, really sweet. So again, that smooth gradation feature works wonders on this TV. You don't have to buy the most expensive TVs. You don't. You can get this with any Sony TV, I grant you that, but when you have this one, my God, I mean, I don't know if this image is doing it any justice, but this image looks really good on my end. I mean, the gradations, again, just look at the sky. There is no banding. You don't have any banding. Now you see some little digital noise because the picture is a low resolution picture. It's a 1080p picture that I'm putting up on a TV, but I mean, at the end of the day, it is what it is. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to show the best I can with what I got, and help as many people experience what I'm experiencing. Because I mean, like when I see a picture that like makes me like this about a TV, like this enthusiastic, I want others to share in my happiness, I guess. Happiness loves company. It's not just misery, right? So I've rattled on long enough. If you guys have questions about this, you guys know I'm always good for it. Hit me up in the comment section, or every Friday from 7 p.m. through 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I do want to thank you guys for watching the #1 brand in honesty, and I'm sorry if this came off really salesy or like a pitch. I mean, guys, listen to what I'm telling you. Quantum TV would never tell you OLED was the best OLED on the market if it truly wasn't. Let that sink in. Watch my most popular video of all time, which is 5 reasons you never buy LG OLED or OLED of any kind, right? Over 200 something thousand views on this video, right? I'm that guy, right? Sitting with an OLED telling you that this is the best OLED I've ever seen, and it actually has quantum dot color, and it fixes pretty much every complaint I had in that video with the exception of burn-in in ABL. ABL has been reduced. It's not gone. It has been reduced, but the burn-in thing is still a risk. But overall, this image is so beautiful that it's worth those risks. Now, how good must this image really be if I, the guy that made a video like that, am sitting here with this TV, like, oh my God, I love this thing, I'll keep it. Even if it was $899, guys, you guys know I have the option to buy the H9F, which I still think is the king of 2019. I'm just gonna throw that out there. But even still, I love this TV. I think it's fantastic, and I really hope I'm doing you a service today. So again, until the next video, I'll see you guys later.